Milo and the Great Bell Plan. Deep inside the walls of the big house, the mouse family lived in a cozy secret world. It was a wonderful place with tables made of buttons and beds made of matchboxes. It smelled of old wood and delicious cheese. But despite their cozy home, the mice were always afraid. Outside their walls, a giant, silent shadow was always watching. The shadow was Duchess, the cat. She was big, orange, and terrifyingly quiet. She moved on paws as soft as velvet clouds. One moment, a mouse would be safe, and the next, swish! Duchess was there. The poor mice had to tiptoe everywhere, their whiskers trembling with fear. They never knew when she would strike. "We cannot live like this," squeaked the mayor. He called an emergency meeting in the great shoebox hall. The room was packed with worried mice. Everyone was shouting at once. "Glue her paws," one yelled. "Bark like dogs," shouted another. It was a disaster. There was too much noise and no good ideas. Suddenly, Milo climbed up the tall spool of red thread. "Silence!" he chirped. The room went quiet. Milo stood tall, his red scarf fluttering in the breeze. "Friends," he announced, "the problem isn't that Duchess is big. The problem is that she is quiet. I have the perfect solution." Milo held up a picture he had drawn. "We will get a shiny golden bell," he said, pointing to the drawing, "and we will tie it around Duchess's neck. Then, whenever she moves, the bell will ring. Ting-ling! We will always hear her coming and have plenty of time to hide." The mice cheered. "Hooray for Milo!" they shouted. "He is a genius." The fear vanished instantly. The mice began to dance and hug each other. They were so happy to finally be safe. It seemed like the most brilliant, magical plan in the world. But one mouth did not cheer. Grandpa Whiskers stood up slowly, tapping his cane. Tap, tap, tap. The room went silent. He adjusted his glasses and looked at the young hero. "Milo," he rasped, "it is indeed a very clever plan. The bell would certainly save us all." Grandpa looked at the crowd. "But I have one question," he said softly. "We have the bell, we have the ribbon, but who is brave enough to walk up to the sleeping monster? Who will climb her fur? Who will tie the knot?" He paused. Who was going to bell the cat? The silence was heavier than a block of cheese. Milo looked at his paws. He looked at the brave mayor, who suddenly found his shoes very interesting. He looked at the strong cousins, who stepped back into the shadows. The wonderful plan suddenly felt very heavy. Milo realized that saying something is easy, but doing it is the hard part. Milo felt small, but he thought about his family. He took a deep breath and stood up again. "It is hard," Milo admitted, his voice shaking just a little. "But living in fear is worse. I cannot do it alone, but maybe we can do it together?" One by one, the cousins nodded. They would not let Milo face the danger alone. That night, Duchess was fast asleep on the rug. She snored like a rumbling engine. Milo and the strongest cousins crept closer, carrying the bell and ribbon. Quiet as shadows, they climbed onto the sofa arm above her. With steady paws and beating hearts, they lowered the loop gently, gently, right over her head. Snap! The ribbon was tight. Duchess woke up with a start and shook her head. Ting-a-ling! The bell rang loud and clear. The mice scattered safely into their holes, cheering and laughing. From that day on, the bell always warned them when the cat was near. Milo had proven that even the smallest mouse can change the world if they are brave enough to try.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe.